Hello everyone. In the last part, we learned some figures of speech. In this session, we are going to learn a few more. Exclamation, interrogation, rhetorical, euphemism, transferred epithet, pun, synecdoche, apostrophe, climax, anticlimax, irony. So today we are going to learn these. So let's start with exclamation. It's very simple to understand. In the poem, there is a sentence which ends with an exclamatory mark. It is understood that it is exclamation figures of speech. So there is nothing more to know about this. Wherever you will see an exclamation mark, it is an exclamation or exclamatory figure of speech. Next is interrogation / rhetorical. Now here there is a sentence like a question is asked. Wherever a question is asked, it is an interrogation or it is also known as rhetorical. A question is asked, the sentence is with a question mark. Interrogation, rhetorical are one and the same. Euphemism. Euphemism is a figure of speech where the harsh words are mentioned or told in a very mild way. Like, for example, he is dead. When we hear this sentence, it is very harsh. But it is written as he is no more. Then it is euphemism. It doesn't sound harsh. Next is transferred epithet. Now transferred. It is an adjective transferred from one noun to another. For example, he entered into a gloomy room. What is the meaning of gloomy? Sad. But is the room sad or the person is in a sad state of mind? So here sad is an adjective which is transferred from he to room. The adjective sad is transferred from he to room. It is transferred epithet. I slept a sleepless night. Is the night sleepless here? No, it is I am sleepless. So I and night, pronoun and noun. So the adjective sleepless is transferred from I to night. The next is pun. Pun is the word or the words or the phrase having different meaning. The lift has ups and downs. Here ups and downs, one meaning is the direction and another meaning is the difficulties or the problems in life. Ups and downs has two meanings, that is pun. Next is synecdoche. Now what is this? It is a part of a whole. WHOLE. Normally when somebody comes to your house and he asks, where is your mother? What will be the answer from your side? You will say, mother is busy. Rather than that, in the poem, it will be, her hands are busy. So now here, hands is a part and mother is a whole. That is part of a whole. Apostrophe. Apostrophe is addressing someone who is not present, or we say it is an abstract. Oh God, why this is happening to me? Or when we say goodbye winter. So we are saying goodbye to winter. But is the winter going to answer us? No. only to make the poem effective. So that is apostrophe. The next is irony. Irony is something where what you want to say is exactly the opposite of it. He is so generous that he gave the beggar a 50 paisa coin. It is exactly the opposite of miserliness. Exactly the opposite of miserliness. That means he is so miser that he gave a 50 paisa coin. But what did we say? He is so generous that he gave a 50 paisa coin. Next is climax, anticlimax. Now what is climax? Climax is ascending order. Now what is an ascending order? Least important to the most important. I'll just explain to you. You're in standard 9. The percentage which you got in the first unit test was 42%. For the first term, it rise to 50. And in the second unit test, it was 63. So your percentage has increased. Least important to the most important. That is the climax. Next is anticlimax. It is exactly the opposite of climax. That is in descending order. Most important to the least important. Your percentage in the first unit test was 75. In the terms, it came down to 60. And in the second unit test, you came down to 52. And the finals, you got only 40. So your graph has gone down. So that is anticlimax. Today we learned these figures of